right, so my name is Bryan Naegele. I am a senior engineer on a platform team at Weemaps. We are hiring, so if you want to come on board, let me know after the talk. So Telemetry Metrics, has anybody heard of telemetry yet? Yeah, anybody using it? Yeah, I know you are. Okay, so telemetry is an initiative to try and get instrumentation to be standardized throughout the Beam ecosystem. So telemetry library itself was originally written in Elixir. It's now been moved over to Erlang for interop. There is a Polar library, which does essentially a cron job type setup for you, so you can do VM instrumentation, and then also like do your own stuff. If you want to like monitor your cache or something, you can do that on a regular basis. So yeah, you know, instrumenting is hard. You know, like this might look like the Milky Way, but this is actually the Netflix service architecture for 2020. All right, so there's 4 parts to telemetry. There's the core library, which is what does the listening and emitting of events. There's Telemetry Polar, which was kind of a custom polling dispatcher. We have Telemetry Metrics, which is a standardized Elixir data structure set of library. And then there are reporters, which use these metric definitions for reporting to telemetry. So where we're at right now, what do you get by jumping into this? Well, all your friends will love you. Have a good old house party. It's a standardized API, so libraries and applications have a standard API for exposing measurements. It's opt-in, so if you are exposing measurements out, people have to, you know, jump in and say like, I actually want to listen to that, instead of being kind of an all-in type deal. Portability, the idea behind the reporters is that you will be able to take your definitions and just put those into each, you know, like wherever you're reporting, with StatsD, Prometheus, whatever else. There's some interesting side effects. You can get some error logging. Like it's really easy to get a slow query logger by being able to listen to an event and see how long that query time was, and then be able to dump all of your stuff. We have, there's also potential for tracing and some APM potentially. So should you adopt? Oh yeah. The API is stable with telemetry 0.4, so the last major change has happened. Eric will be talking tomorrow about Prometheus, so I'm not stealing his thunder. It's super easy to use. It's fast, it's non-blocking, it spawns processes out when it's handling events. The measurements are already available today in Echo SQL. You get query, decode, and total times. So these are the 4 different metric definitions you get: counter, distribution, last value, and sum. If you need to know what those are, then feel free to ask afterwards. So basic usage real quick. So a counter, we're gonna like create a new counter with HTTP request count, and that will give you back this struct. Let's kind of go through it. So the first part, the HTTP request, is the event name. So that is like what you're listening to, what's being emitted out there. The count is the measurement. That's the last piece. So then it's a little bit advanced usage. You can add a whole bunch of options to it, and really quickly through them. You can override the event name. So if you want to have your name that's being reported out be different than the event name that you're listening to, you can do that. You do tags, so you can get different time series for each one. You can set the unit. What else? What kind of jump around here? So as far as state of the union, so Polar is going to be converted to Erlang, it seems. Metrics will stay as an Elixir library because it is based on structs, and that's the whole idea. StatsD reporter, so like all the reporters are kind of being built right now. So Eric is working on Metrics StatD. I am working, there's an open census one. I forgot to update the thing. And then I'm working on a Prometheus one with a couple people. There's a lot of downloads on telemetry because it's in Ecto SQL. But yeah, so thanks. If you have any questions, just let me know.